Hello, welcome to another Artcast. Today we're going to work on, or we'll be taking a look at my work on a commission of the witch from Two Stupid Dogs. Our commissioner kindly wanted us to, I don't know, give us a character chart of them in different positions with different outfits on. Not different positions per se, just your usual side, front, 2/3, backside thing. I'm using Affinity or Affinity 2. I don't know what the company that makes Affinity has now released sort of a standalone app. I don't know if it's a subscription based thing, but I just managed to like download the program back when it was on back when oh, Humble Bumble was still, sort of I mean it's still a thing, but like more of a thing than it is now, if that makes any sense. Anyway, it's a good program. I've been using it for a while. I don't know what about the new app-based thing. I don't know if it's got a PC port or what, but I don't know, I'm just used to this one now. Hello. Hi guys. Yeah, I was a little late setting up. I'm setting up for sort of I'm in I've got a central broadcasting thing where I've got the mic on me and then the thing sort of in the middle of the house. I've got a few chores here and there to do, mostly sweeping and mopping. So I figured I'd just throw this on and see, work with stuff. That's good. I miss my walks. I live in downtown and I just kind of used to have a nice little walk around Grandma's cul-de-sac. I could walk here, but then the dogs would go crazy. They're not exactly trained, but we did have a nice little drive out to we had to pick up some stuff, pick up taxes from Grandma's old accountant. So we went out to the graveyard and visited all the relatives. I don't know. I just kind of had but anyway, the dogs. Before I move on to the next topic, the dogs, we took them out and they ran around the graveyard a little bit. Not ran around. I had them on a leash, and we made sure they only peed on trees. They had fun getting out. From the bunker. Had a few new strip malls and okay, that's good. Yeah, I should take them down to the park sometime. Yeah, I don't know. Just kind of have a couple off days. Just kind of thinking about things, different things. You ever get overhead flash from watching two different films, like a Pirates of the Goonies? I've seen a 20-year advance. Um, I mean, yeah, that happens. I was gonna say when you could, or you would watch a. I mean, Sci-Fi Channel did that a lot because who cares? They just like throw on something from the '80s and then something from the '90s, and then end it with in the night with a Sci-Fi Channel original, which had maybe sort of middling acting and bad special effects. Yes, you are especially tired today. Yeah, we're all just kind of out of it, aren't we? Or you'd get different prints of different movies. You're okay. I thought you were laying on the. You have an especially clean print of, say, I don't know why, but they had they I remember specifically, and maybe that's because I had this burned on one of the or had this recorded on one of the old MST3K videos, but they were doing a big Leviathan weekend, and I remember watching that on an old VHS, and they got a really, really, really clean version of it. Now, sometimes some movies they would not give a rat's ass about getting a clean version of it. I'm specifically remembering the time that they aired a, what was it? Neon Punk Samurai or Samurai Neon Punks, which was, I don't know, it was a weird 80s slasher movie, uh, which was not a very good print. And then sometimes you could just tell, like, oh, the camera's just weird. Ouch. Yeah, I gotta let Marvel update, don't I? They got. Do they have? Do they have? Which one are we getting first? Are we getting Fox or are we getting Black Cat? I just saw an advertisement for White Fox's gameplay, so I assume we're getting her first, and then the sort of. I think that's what they did before. They had Bloodstone or Ilsa first, and then they introduced uh, what's his face, Deadpool after that. What's his face? Oh, yeah. First things first before I start cleaning up. So yeah, I'm using Affinity because it is a vector-based system, and then from that I can make alterations fairly easily and quickly, even more so than in Paint Tool Saya, because even though Paint Tool Saya has a vector-based program, it's still it still doesn't have all the bells and whistles that this program does. Mainly, picking a color for the inside of your object. I don't even think you can make a quote unquote object. You can. You got your choice between a triangle, a circle, and a square. There's no interface for making your own unique shapes, and there's not even an interface for connecting a vector line together, which is tires. Not especially great. Okay, I'm making two meals, or I'm prep coursing two meals. I need to fry this hamburger because it's turning gray. How does my mom? She just, you know what she did? She was made, I forget what. It was like tacos the other night, where she did this thing. She bought corn tortillas and fried up some hamburger and mixed some stuff together, and then put cheese in it, and then put that in like a taco thing, and then baked them. And it was just they were just kind of like, you know how you have soft tacos and then you have hard tacos? Well, imagine a medium taco. That's kind of what they were. They were pretty good. But anyway, she took half the hamburger and then just folded the styrofoam over itself, and then put the plastic over, and then a rubber band over that. My grandmother said mom was never a homebody, which is sort of true. She likes to work out in the yard more than she likes, cooking, cleaning, which is why I'm sort of doing that right now. But anyway, I got to fry this up, and I think we're going to make. I'm just going to fry it up, cook it, and I think we're making spaghetti out of it. So I will cook it with a nice. Ooh, I should peel some garlic before I do. No, I have some. Yeah, I'm going to oil up the pan. Maybe she doesn't like onions, but I will. I will do some aromatics first. Okay. First things first, aromatics. I'm trying to get your. Why isn't that popping up? I'm trying to get the chat up on my phone. Come on. Okay, I've closed the thing a couple times. Boop, boop, boop. There you guys are. Ooh, nice. No, I don't think we have any, but we don't cook with cilantro that much, I guess. I mean, if you want to talk cinematic whiplash, then yeah, how about you go to the first Indian? Well, I don't know. The first Indiana Jones still holds up, along with the third, but then you got the other two, which is like, what am I looking for? I will need this can to put any grease in. You know what? I tell you what, I'll just use the oil from the hamburger. So let's just clump this up while I prepare some onions and garlic. Because if I'm making spaghetti out of this for Sunday, yeah, it's just been rough. Mom's been having problems with her legs. She's been cramping up. So we're wondering what we're going to do with that. I got my annual checkup with the doctor next week, and she's going to ask a bunch of questions. She's got the same appointment right after me, so it's mainly to get her in to ask some questions, maybe get some shots for her knees. And I always get white coat syndrome. Yeah, I'm going to add some cumin to this. So, but cilantro, actually don't cook with a lot of it, but I don't have it. When I taste it, it doesn't taste like soap to me. Mainly when we go out to like really nice Mexican food places. I was going to say, did that discourage people from like actually using cilantro? Because I'm thinking of the just you go to a restaurant and restaurants will sometimes try to appeal to the just the greatest amount of people. Not like an actual like sit down family style restaurant. Let's just say for the sake of everything a chain. Like Taco Bell will never cook with cilantro because it's like, well, a few people have this genetic thing, so let's not even risk having them go, ew, I don't like this. Let's see, that's garlic powder. I've got some minced onions here. Yeah, mom doesn't like onions that much, so I'll just put some minced in here. That way she can't tell. Of course, a little bit of ground cumin. Mmm. And parsley's for later. Do I even have I have basil. Nope. Yeah. No. Mm. Yeah, a little parsley while cooking. Okay, there we go. Got that on a medium. I'll find a container for that, and then we'll get that done. When I was a child, I would eat bubbles in the bubble bath because I was pretending to be Winnie the Pooh eating smackerels of honey. That's adorable. Cilantro is just Spanish for coriander. It's common. Yes, I actually. Okay, you know what? I have had a bunch of it. There was a was it Vietnamese? I think it was. It may have been Vietnamese or Taiwanese, but there was a little a little restaurant we would sometimes go into this little mall section. Me and Grandma. It was a I don't know, something something show. Uh, and the first time we went in there, she ordered something that she was like, "Oh, I want to try something." And it was a very it was a lot of noodles. We ordered some of the soup. That's where and she was like, "Oh, this is good." But then she got her main dish. It was like a sort of a pork noodle thing, and she was like, "Ah, I don't know if I like this." And then I ordered some. They had a variation on orange chicken, which I ordered, and we traded. Sure. I think that's because March. I mean, we lost her in December, which is hard, but March is also when we lost Grandpa and we lost my dad. And then she would get reminiscent, and now I'm getting reminiscent about her getting reminiscent. Oh, and just everything was on fucking fire. So in the world, and then a close friend is losing his mother-in-law. It's just, you know, internet legend Little Karibo was. And Film Cow too. They've both started Kickstarters to help family members. Just sometimes you're just like, fuck this. But we persist, and I managed to get some good stuff done, and now I've got this set up, which seems like it actually could be useful. That way, I can do my weekly cleaning and do an art stream. This was a booger. The lips thing. I did find out that you can relatively um, the one fallback that I will say, and I also have Moho because I use Moho 12. It's not the latest version of it, but I got that from Humble Bumble too. Moho, when you create a sort of an object can consist of many different things, but an object can either have a width. Um, think of an object as like being a skeleton with lines. You have just very thin lines. Now those lines can actually. Oh, pardon me. I got drinking my coffee. Cannot don't actually need to have any sort of like fill or width to their lines. They could just be empty and clear. Um, Here you can make an object out of several different. You can make a like a set of lips out of like three different objects. In this case, I have the bottom lips, the top lips, and the line that divides the two. Um, and I wish you can control all the handles at once, which is something you can do in Moho, but you can't do here. And I don't even know if this is going to get any new updates because, like I said, they've released a new sort of Affinity. Oh, I think he needs money for like rent or like and I don't. I Oh no no no! Actually, you know what she did? We were praying the other day, and she shocked me because she was like, "Can you, dear Lord, please do something about our country and specifically Trump?" Like, not she was talking like a gangster. She's like, "Hey, I want you to." She put a hit out on Trump, but not like specifically to God. I was like, "Oh, geez, okay, yeah, I'm down with this." As long as we're making lists, there's a couple of them. But no, she was at the. You know what? About like 10 years ago, she was under the impression, and she's kind of grown a little bit out of this sort of situation because she's now with this one shop owner, um, who one is neglecting. And this pisses me off. She's neglecting to repair their chairs. They don't have the right hydraulics in them, which is probably why mom, after even all this time, she's just now starting to have problems with her knees. But like years ago, she was like, "Well, I mean, he can't be that bad. He's for all sense and purposes, it came down to, well, he's rich. Like how much, you know, he can't be doing anything that bad." And then she's sort of through the microcosm of this one shop owner who is always on that hustle and neglecting other things, you know, nothing explicitly crooked, but like sort of shifting responsibilities and moving things around and just being like, oh, you have money because you don't do anything. That sort of thing has sort of come up. Pretty much, yeah. Oh, well, I think they thought that Charlie Kirk was going to be like this big come to Jesus moment for everybody in the country. And then it turns out that when you can't actually show any of the things that the guy said, or when you actually do, it like disgusts people. Because the first thing she heard is like, oh my gosh, he was a Christian and he got shot in the head. And and then she actually like heard the stuff that, because they circulate the clips. And it's like, oh, no, no, no. I mean, it's a lot like, well, he didn't deserve to die, but he didn't deserve to not die. And that's one point where she was like, well, I'm going to start paying attention what these people say. The last season 0 MST3K. Yes, I did hear about that. Yeah, that did pop up. I don't know. I don't like. I mean, and the funny thing is I'm following one of the season 0 people. I don't know how, but I just started following them for different reasons because they work in a different capacity altogether within the entertainment industry. I think they're like an illustrationist, but they were the original Tom and they were the original, not TV's Frank, TV's the other guy, the one with the glasses. Um, but anyway, those, I don't know. I've watched a few of those. Those are a little bit of a rough set. Like it's kind of like a stand-up comedian, and you go and see their like early, like Patton Oswalt and his baby face when he's on like not even Comedy Central. There was a different thing where they didn't even have Comedy Central Presents. It was like a bar set sort of thing, and you just see their like earlier stuff, and it's like, oh, okay, that's good. And then you see their when they hit their stride and get on something good. Oh, just momentarily. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, he shouldn't be. It's a stepping stone. It's like really like it's the basis. Everyone starts at zero. Everyone starts at their first step, and no one should be embarrassed of it. But sometimes you don't have to like really revisit that stuff for long periods of time. I was going to say I did see a season 1 that was actually really good. It was one of the spy thrillers, but I can't quite remember it. What was I going to say? You saw for a second there that I was in Studio or in Paint Tool. I found a neat way to have sort of the two windows semi-automatically switch when I'm going into different things, because I'm able to marry sort of the both between marry the best qualities of both these programs fairly quickly. One problem I would always be like, well, I have to stop recording and then start recording, or remember to start recording, and then to get into another program, refocus all the windows. Luckily, both this program and Affinity are both light enough. They weigh light enough that I can run both at the same time, and I'm able to kind of jump back and forth between just like if I need a rough outline for a figure, I can just draw that in Paint Tool because the drawing, the pin pressure is just better in Paint Tool Seiya. And you can kind of switch between a draw mode in Affinity, but I don't because it changes the whole outline. The pin is not, again, Paint Tool has like got the best pin in the game. Maybe next to Clip Studio, which I did play with a little bit and got some okay results, but it's still not to where I'd like them to be. So I stick with Paint Tool Seiya. But yeah, just I can even copy things from Affinity. They turn into a flat ping or a flat layer, but you just add an opacity to all that, and you're able to work with stuff. Hello, Strange Stories. Hello, Johnny. I'm one. Okay, yeah, this is all too loose to make anything other than some sort of spaghetti with. So I'm going to try and drain this a little bit. I do have one tool that I really like, and it's this hamburger press, and it's big and wide, and I'm able to cover fairly most of the skillet while I'm pouring. Ow! Stupid metal handle. Okay, here we go. Okay, that's done. Now I'm going to prepare some chicken for tonight's dinner. We have some chicken thighs. I think she wants to have some sort of rice balls. She read that jasmine rice is supposed to be better than other rice, so I'm going to cook her a chicken bowl tonight. And she's got either chicken breasts, which are frozen right now, so I got to unfreeze those, or we have chicken thighs, which is dark meat, which is I prefer. I may do a mixture of both. Oh, and I also didn't. Melanie didn't stream last night because. My aunt is also in the hospital with. She lives out in Oklahoma, and she has viral pneumonia, which is not great, but she seems to be under control right now. What is this? Biomat hours. Screw you. Screw you, Yahoo. Her localized name is which. Oh, Witch and 100 Night. I think I remember that. I remember that on the PlayStation 4. Oh yeah, this is nice loose kernels. This is going to go great in the spaghetti sauce. And I'm also wondering if I should make that now. Nah, I could do that later. All I do is open up a can of regular spaghetti sauce, or Hunt's, or whatever we got in there, and then I add a can of diced to make it a little more chunkier. Squish that a little bit around, and then I have to. The best thing to do with canned spaghetti sauce or bottled spaghetti sauce is you just add a little tablespoon of baking soda. Tablespoon of baking soda, maybe a little brown sugar to bring the flavor back up. Oh, and cumin. Uh, but the baking soda and the sugar is going to take the bitterness out that builds up from the preservation. Canning or bottling the pasteurization process. Hey, Tony. Hey, Tony. We're doing a model sheet for the witch from Two Stupid Dogs. Metal. I don't know if she has metal powers. I think she literally has like something to do with 100 days of uh, of life left or something. I never got too far in the game. I'm prepping some tortellini and sauce. Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds good. Okay, well anyway, that's done. So I can take that and then make a spaghetti sauce tomorrow. I don't know why I know why. Because she wants to well, first of all, she just wants this. Second of all, she's also getting off of her I don't know, she's futzing with all of her medicines. Not the crucial ones, like she was on an antacid for a while. But I think she said that if you stay on there for like more than a year, it also messes with your stomach. So that's something she read. She likes to do a lot of like home brewing. She's been feeding the dogs like pumpkins and uh, not pumpkins, puree pumpkins and green beans and oatmeal, which is all not bad for the dogs because I double checked on that, but it's also not not good, if that's anything. I forget what they used to feed Ladybird on King of the Hill. I think an egg, a hard boiled egg for her coat. Oh, we have coleslaw and we have chicken. Okay, I got to do something with that. Unless I have ribs here. I'm going to stick these up in the thing, up in the freezer. Yeah, that's not great. I got to clean off the chicken juice. Okay. What else? I should cut up this watermelon. It's been in here for a while. I don't know that's good. Yeah, let's take this out and see. Yeah, today's just kind of a cleanup day. Why did she want? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She also read a recipe about like a stir frying cabbage. I could do that for her, but now she switched gears. Now she's distracted by the white jasmine rice. Oh hey, Boria. Honestly, I'm wondering which that your drawing was. Oh, it's a kind of magic. Literally based off of the like the theme song was a cover to the Queen album or the Queen song, which I think was the title for one of their albums. Came out around Highlander days. Was Freddie Mercury still alive during Flash Gordon? Because I know he was Highlander, but I'm trying to wondering where's that delineation. I forget. He was kind of a sci-fi nerd. Rode around on Darth Vader's back, shoulders. You forget how tough Darth Vader was, but then you remember he like held a full-grown Freddie Mercury and ran around the stage. What am I in here for? I put that up. Why do you look like you? Okay, he's looking at me like, uh-oh. I think he tried to smell some of the stuff that's here, but it's all packaged, so no go. Oh, I know. I wanted paper towels. Shit. Oh, Flash Gordon was great. Every one of us. Ooh, me, my Hawkmen. I was going to say, a new season of Invincible just dropped. I have never been. I've never followed it too close. I know of it, and I know of the series, and I know the general gists of some of the bigger story beats, even before the series took off, just because people liked it so much. But I was going to say, at some point, it stops being like a Superman analog and becomes way more of a Flash Gordon analog, especially with like all the weird space stuff that goes on. Space stuff and interdimensional time travel stuff. Okay, the briskets for Sunday. We have, I want chicken. I want one of these broccolis. I want one of these chickens, but some of these might be freezer burnt. Okay, here we go. I could steal one of these ribs and make it a beef bowl. Maybe later. Oh crap, there's a hole. Okay, I got to do some surgery on this package. Yeah, Flash Gordon Defenders of the Earth, but I'm thinking of like just the whole concept of like Hawkmen. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, you've got all these weird space things, like literally the lion guy. So Digital Circus. I'm glad everybody had their. That's another thing. You guys can't just be like on Blue Skies. I'm glad none of you guys do this. I've seen because I follow a lot of you, and you all know that. I'm glad none of you just go holy shit in the middle of the day, because that like really triggers the rest of us. I'm glad you like a show, but don't add a tag or something. There was a bunch of prominent people that were just going, "Oh wow, we're holy shit," or no, mostly holy shit, or like what's going to happen now, stuff like that. In this climate, you can't do that. Do 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 do. Oh wow, you literally just brought it up. Um, I've got to go back and see the rest of it. I sort of was like, I kind of know where this is going, so I don't know. I just did. There was just something I just didn't feel like getting too wrapped up in it. Now the weird thing is that I don't know if Googleplex or whatever was like sincere in her "I'm leaving," the creator not feeling appreciated. Is that something that happened, or is that just something she played up for what was going to happen in the show? Because that is legitimately a problem. Or it could be both. Life imitating art. But then again, she had a legitimate reason to kind of be like, I'm going to step away for a little bit. You people are crazy. As opposed to what happened in the show. Okay, is this still good or is it bad? Uh, nope, nope, not funky. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm not going to use all these chicken thighs, so I'm going to have to. Uh, that smells freezer burnt. That smells freezer burnt, so now I don't know. We'll see what happens with these two. So yeah, so moving forward, let's see. How many did I do? How many variations of this one character did I end up doing? Let's see. One, two, 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 4 times. I think the original. I had like 5 pieces, 8 towards each one, so that's like 40. Yeah, there might be 40 different iterations of uh, of this character. I don't know. That watermelon tastes a little skunky now. Yeah, I'm just going to toss it. It's just half a watermelon. It's like a quarter of a watermelon. I cut it. We didn't have enough storage, so I just put saran wrap on it. I'll defrost this. Keep that on to the side. I don't know, 7 minutes on defrost. Well, I mean, I didn't do it. It's all stuff that like some of this stuff still old from when I moved in. Huh, okay, I have one pork chop here. I'll make that into the teriyaki. But anyway, I'm able to use this as a base to sort of make some little alterations, and then from there, even greater alterations for all the different outfits, and it just was really able to like help me. Okay, see you, strange stories. Sorry it's so late. Get some rest. You as well. Let's see. I've got that in the. Going to defrost some of that chicken breast. I'm going to put this off to the side so we'll see what happens there. And now I'm going to take a crack at some of these chicken thighs. Do these have bones in them? No, they are boneless. Oh my gosh! I thought I was going to have to break out the stuff. That's amazing. Okay, let's see. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. We got quite a few of it. I don't need all of these, so I'm going to put some of them up. That's a good find, Mama. It is a good find indeed. Okay, I'm going to take. I'm going to put maybe about 2/3 of these up. Uh, yeah, yeah. I'll leave that one out. Leave that one. Leave that one. Put this one up. Okay, good. That clearly wasn't long enough for the defrosting the other chicken breasts. Okay, I'm gonna put these. What is this? Lemons or oranges, whatever. I'm going to put these right here. A few little peas, that'll be good. A handful kept together by a rubber band. Mom and her rubber band. She loves that. She just thinks that's the best way to keep things. Out of curiosity, do you have any memories of the Disney show Fillmore? You know what? There is a cartoon reviewer. Their name escapes me right now, but they do an excellent job. They've been going through the whole series. Yeah, I remember it. It was like a. It was a. It, it was just on the other side. You know how like Disney's Recess, where you have like all the kids and they all have these subgroups and they all sort of do it semi straight faced. Um, it's on the other side of Recess where it's a school procedural where the hall monitors are basically a police force. So it's a police procedural done in a grade school. Done again, trying to be as completely straight faced as possible. I think it got like 2 seasons, and then the premise wore thin because kids just don't know about dramatic irony. Um, Ida was the principal from Owl House, Ida, and she was the principal, and a very young Malcolm from Malcolm in the Middle. I forget his name. He did a bunch of voice roles for that. Right, right. Recess is like the World War II Great Escape. Uh, and Fillmore is like 1970s, 1980s. I don't know, any cop, like they've all sort of reached this homogenous of like, oh, we got to do the greater good, all that. Abacab includes Fillmore. Yeah, that's literally the one I'm talking about, Cage. The one where I think, yeah, Malcolm from Malcolm in the Middle plays a bad guy. Wendy Malick. Now, what was she? Oh, yeah, she was in Just Shoot Me. I'm trying to remember what the sitcom was. Sometimes I mistake her for Archer's mom. I mean, I don't do that now. Like now that differential is like burnt in. But I was like, maybe about 10 years ago, it'd be like, well, wait, are they? Abigail, Masters are cops. Abbott. Oh, okay. Oh, a cab. Okay, pardon me. Sorry. Okay, that doesn't smell too bad. The freezer burntness doesn't is not. Nah. Okay. Maybe that's not as freezer burn as I thought it was. And then, oddly enough, okay, this is my mom. Okay, she's got hot teriyaki with jalapeno and ginger. That's the sauce she picked up. This is Kinder. She was specifically told by a customer. A little bit on the. Let's see. I think it's like $4. kind of the middle of the road sauce when it comes to that. They had some really weird Japanese stuff, or faux Japanese. That was like $8 a bottle. Um, I think this was like four, but like she's off her antacid medicine, but now she wants to have a dish cooked with jalapeno and ginger. Anyway, she wants to try that. Um, I'm going to read how you're supposed to cook this jasmine rice. Okay, if you want 1 cup of wait, syrup 4. Okay, yields 3 cups. Ooh, jasmine rice. You take a little less water, but you make more. Okay, so we're gonna. I don't know. I don't want six. There's down to be a difference between the 3 and the 6 cups of rice. Uh, okay. What if I want 1.5? Ugh. Okay, 1.5. Okay, what's the difference between 1.5 and 3? Okay, I'm gonna get back to my old math stuff. Hold on a second. Do, 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 do. I mean, I think that would be 2 and 7 fifths. I mean, yeah, 75, 2.75. But let's see. Two. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting like 2 and 2 thirds. 2 and 2 thirds, but that's not like. Well, 2.5. No, 2.5 is just double one. So I'm maybe 2 and 1/3. Okay, let me break this down to the halves. Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, Teacher's Pet was also great with again Nathan Lane. Like 2000 Disney's animation was firing on all cylinders. Except for maybe uh Team Kapow. No. Team Wow. Wow Team Timo Supremo. But even then, that was still like okay quality animation. It was just weird looking. Let's see. I'm looking for. Okay. Okay, so let's say I'm on. Okay. 1 to 1/2. 1/2 of 75. 1/2 of 1/2 is 75. So I want 1 and 3. Yeah, 1 2/3 cup. Is it? That'll give me a yield of at least. Yeah, that'll give me the mythical 4 to 5 cups difference between now and here. Right? Right? Shadow? Partly lost. Oh, you mean they lost a bunch of episodes? The sister was like an opposite Candace because she was always there to help, and then she was always studying to be something different. She was like, "You need to know these things if you want to be a future something or other." Like one was a veterinarian, one was a nuclear physicist, one was, okay. Okay, 2.5. Okay. We need 2 and 1/4. Okay, so this one's going to be 1.5, 2 and 1/4. Let me get some. Yeah. Okay, I got my calculations done for what we're going to do tonight. 1 and 1/2. And okay, good. Okay, that one goes back up here. I'll leave this stuff out. Yeah. There we go. That's for tonight too. That's for tomorrow. Good, 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 good. We're cleaning up. Oh, watch out, buddy. Do you think Disney will ever have another? JetX was on Fox Family, wasn't it? The villains have a real Rocky and Bullwink aesthetic to them. Let's see. The villains. Yeah, I could see that. The whole show kind of did. His voice. Oh, you mean LT Gray voiced the skateboarder kid, right? And then you had the skateboarder kid, you had the lasso guy, and then you had the yo-yo guy. Ugly children. The cowboy girl had a choppy haircut. The skateboard kid had this weird up bent nose or down bent nose and like weird teeth. And a mop, like real moppy hairstyle. And then I guess I can't remember the yo-yo kid. He seemed normal. Crandall, his name. Oh boy. Let's see. I'm going to put up this stuff. Got to clean up the kitchen a little bit. Crandall, God. That whole series reminds me of like there was. Have you ever seen Swampy's sketches of the original Phineas and Ferb show? And it's all like, oh, because I don't know if those are rough sketches because I've also seen them draw and it kind of matches. And I'm like, okay. Well, you were a writer. Really? I don't remember that part. His grandparents being superheroes. But that reminds me of the Powerpuff Girls episode. That was a good one. Oh, you little sweetie muffins. Or what did the key call them? Wonder Boy. No. That was kind of a mix of Batman and Captain America and Superman also, with the Robin and the Bucky. Where's the towel? There we go. Catchphrases, grandpa's is always shouted like things like left. Okay, I gotta see. Look that up. Let's see. What was his like? How was he? How Batman was he? Like on a sliding scale. I mean, you're either well, being Batman's pretty binary, but let's see. Timo Supremo. Timo Supremo. Although they don't look that bad. Okay, I just maybe have like, oh no, the kid opened his mouth. The skateboarder kid. Okay, that's no. That's right. The guy with the glasses had the yo-yo, and the kid with this, the other kid had the skateboard, and his teeth are like Jaws from. Oh, but that's right. They did have what's his face? Um, the Danny Phantom villain. He played the mayor. Yeah, this isn't too bad. Okay, I may have misjudged this a little, just a slight bit. It's still a little janky. Ooh, Halloween special. Okay, okay, yeah. There's still a little bit of like, I don't know. There's like a lack of cohesion between like I don't know. The style just seems, I don't know. It just rubs me the wrong way. Okay, maybe also his voice. Oh, but they have I also forgot who the police chief was. Flying Dutchman. Okay, they actually did have like a really good voice cast. Yeah, Martin Mull. His grandpa looks more like a Hawkman. Okay, see you, Condor. Brian Murphy. Yeah. Hey, Ender. One out, one in. Yeah, this actually looked pretty good. You know what? I did find a trick that could help me with that. There's a few bugs with Affinity. Like I wish you could find a way to maneuver And maybe there is a setting that I'm just overlooking, and I'll look into it. But there's a way to, yeah. You see, I'm kind of cheating the layers a little bit. That's sort of that. There's a layer underneath the other layer for the color. Uh, I wish there was a way that you can control the thickness of a line a little better. There are instances where you get the thickness just right, and then you maybe want to move or make a shape bigger or thinner, or move the shape around a little bit. But that also moves like the sort of the thickness around certain shapes, like where the actual like the end of the quote thickness line ends up. There's got to be a setting that I'm overlooking to lock that up or not. Anyway, the commissioner wanted several variations with her. I think I ended up doing like a bunch of extra ones just for fun, or just because I could do it really simply. But the main thing was is that get her in her regular outfit, and then get her into a two piece swimsuit with and without the gloves and shoes on. So yeah, that's what we're kind of working on. Okay, you know what? Timo Supremo, it's got some stuff to it that I forgot. Like a mole actually just doing like a really cool, smooth voice of a mayor who's just like bizarrely competent. The Flying Dutchman cop Murphy doing just like just being himself. And if they've got Mark Hamill to like play the villains, then yeah, sure. But it does feel like they're like, oh well, hey, Powerpuff Girls is good. Let's do our own Powerpuff Girls. Oh, what's that one show? There's something called on Fox FX, The Beauty, which is literally just the substance, but like different. And I'm like looking at this thing, and I'm like, I'm sort of all for like, hey, you got a premise, shift that premise around a little bit and see where it all plays out. Uh, but when it's like on a corporate level, I just feel like, I don't know. One, I like that philosophy of storytelling. Like, oh yeah, you could totally just change a couple of things, and it changes like a character's motivation or what could happen. Um, move a chair a little bit to the left, and you get an entirely different story, and it's funny. I mean, you should explore that. But when a corporation does that, it's kind of like when a corporation does a meme, then the meme is over. I saw a Wendy's thing on where I was scrolling, and it was literally the meme. That meme where you're yelling. One guy's it's a Wojak. One of them is yelling at the other, and it was like two Wendy's girls. One was yelling at the other, and the other one was just thinking about uh, Wendy's Frosties or something. It was a video, and she had a dumb look on her face, which is not what the meme is about. The meme is about the guy yelling has a smaller brain than the one just sitting there and either in bliss or content. They're content, whether that is from a place of like bliss or knowing the situation in its full, like having the full view of the situation for what it is. It's not the one thing about Wendy's is dumber than the one yelling. The pineapple comic, of course, where people are like having fun with pineapples on their heads, and then a corporation does it, and it's like, screw this. Yeah, yeah. Well, the substances, yeah, but again, it will also have like a 20-year period between the two. Uh, Death Becomes Her is more Adam's Family, you know. Yeah, that aesthetic, and the substance is like more your John Carpenter, not. Why did Clive Barker just pop into my head? Oh, the other one, Cronenberg. There we go. Yeah, yeah. There we go. Oh, there is something funny about the mother and Beauty being. I've only seen like a couple clips in a trailer, but from the trailer, it's like the mother saying to the executive son, "I pray for your death every day." Clive Barker did, yeah, yeah, but that was more like veering into it. That was like veering into like the that would be like in season, like if they ever did a storyline like down the road about like, oh yeah, I like being a goo puddle. Hey, just because I have a chandelier for a head doesn't mean my name is Chandelier Head. I don't know what it. You know what? There's a Tom Cardy song about that phenomenon, and it's he wrote a song about like basically reading the Wikipedia entries for horror movies, and I think that's sort of a one. There was a there used to be like limited resources. You couldn't just watch any movie you wanted whenever. I remember going into my school library and I had like a weird I forget what I had. My senior year was basically like Swiss was Swiss cheese. I had a bunch of holes in the schedule because I forget what I was in IB, so I like did a bunch of honor stuff, and by my senior year, I basically had everything on lockdown. I think I was only taking. Let's see. Um, let me think about it. I was like the student assistant for like three different teachers, so I got to like I had one class in the. I don't know what happened. It was both a blessing and I got screwed because I had a class early in the morning and then I had a class late in the afternoon. And it was a certain thing because they were the senior classes. Uh, I forget, but anyway, um, I ended up like being a student assistant for like three different teachers. It would take me one period to do like most of their stuff, so I would have like most of the day to myself. And this was right after 9/11, so unfortunately we moved from an open canvas to a closed canvas. So if you were at school for the day, then you were at school for the day. You couldn't like say, okay, well, I got that out of the way. I'm going to go and leave for 4 hours and then come back. I think you used to be able to do that. But again, 9/11, you had to have a bunch of IDs because the terrorists definitely wanted to infiltrate a high school. But anyway, there was a point where I remember I just moved from place to place. Sometimes I'd go play basketball for like a couple hours, and then I was bored, and then got to the library, and then I peeked through all the good books. Long story short, one of the books was I think it was it was a gag book. 666 horror movies, or 666 of the best horror movies, or something. But anyway, and the blurbs under them were like super small. Like they maybe had like a little bit of a factoid here and there. They basically used all their good stuff on all the 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 tentpole franchises. But they did have like little blurbs on like The Hunger or Parents or what was that one? Flesh Eating Mamas or The Stuff or Street Trash, things that like didn't even like you may or may not have found a VHS, but certainly weren't available in like Blockbuster. Like you would have to go and rent. You'd have to go to like, I don't know. I remember there being like a few video stores. Hollywood Video never threw away anything, so they still had a bunch of crap. And then there was one that was just huge and had everything. Anyway, so yeah, you'd go through, and if you wanted to learn about some of these old horror movies, you read about them. Yeah, because it's easier to get a magazine than it is to, a Fangoria than it is to sneak into an R-rated movie when you're 13. And I think that has sort of moved on towards Wikipedia and video essays. There are whole channels that are basically just, and I've stumbled across two of them. Like there's this guy named Ryan who's like really good and does do commentary. And then there's another one that I've like watched. I had it on the background, and then I kind of turned it off because I realized I was just given like a little story time. I think it was like Found Flicks. Yeah, where there was really no commentary. It was just like, hey, this is how it ends. Or like, this is what the monster really is. Or like, she was a ghost the whole time. Or she was an alien the whole time. Or it's some sort of weird lake with time travel ghosts. Yeah, okay. Yeah, basically redrawing and making it look a little bit more foot-like. I think I modeled it off of, I forget what other Hartman character. You can't see you can't see my references, can you? Hmm. Her fingers are still sharp. Maybe I should have gone through and made her hands either a little softer or made the feet end at a little bit more of a point. Oh, you turkeys. Someone got into the garbage. Oh. Just sniffing around though. Let's see. Where are we at? I didn't know what her hairstyle would look like, so I just gave her a bouffant. But yeah, I think that's sort of like that just may be a holdover from the fact that you could read a book or read a comic faster than you can watch a movie. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. I'm just looking at her. She's got like a little divot. Oh yeah, you also may remember I made a 3D model of her face just so that you could kind of get a better idea about like how her face would move in a three-dimensional space. I haven't, and I think the commissioner is interested in having me do a few more pieces of her. So that'll all come in handy. Well, that's good. I thought I would have to chop up that chicken. Or those. Sometimes I used to buy. No, maybe that's why it was cheaper. I used to buy chicken breasts and chicken thighs and chicken legs with the bone in, and then I would always clean it up myself because they'd give that stuff like I remember it being like $5 a pop. And Grandma, who didn't like chicken, but she loved my stir fry, so I would just get a chicken, whether it had a bone or not, and I'd clean it and make some of that. This seems to be, she wants the same sort of thing, except it's just a rice bowl. It's all cleaned up. Is tomorrow like good? No, this isn't like Good Friday or the best Friday, or it's the 28th, right? Wait. Or is it the 21st? Yo, worms! Yep, indeed. We're doing the whole thing. Doing the whole character. Hmm. Let's see. Oh, it's the 21st. Okay. Ah, no. Oh, we still got a couple weeks till Easter. Well, no, that's Easter Sunday. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I see. Okay, kitchen's done. Now time to sweep up the house. Sweep and mop a little bit. Where's my broom? You got to keep up with the sweeping at least once a week because these dogs or Shadow love to shed. And I forget who also asked. It was some random or some. Let's just call him Summer. Somer, short for some random dude. Friend of the channel. Uh, they brought up was like, oh, can you do like an animation for this? And I was like, yeah, actually I can, because if this is an SVG, I could put it into Blender, or I could put it into Moho and add some bones to it. Went and saw Arco. Just decent. It was animated. I mean, it was nominated. I gotta get that one. There's that one really weird animated movie from like a couple years ago. It was something Sakura and the Wind. Kind of gives me some like weird Ghibli vibes, especially since I think the two main characters, I think they're sisters, turn into cats. I think it's based off some sort of folklore. Anyway, the color scheme reminded me of that. The French, they sure do love their rainbows. Let's see, there's that one, and I've only watched a little bit of Flow. Who won? Let's see, this last one. Was it Demon Hunters? Who was nominated? I don't think Toon Saloon put anything out. Neither did Leica. K-pop. Okay, good for them. Should have known when Conan uh, did a goof when he was going through all the movies and goofed on them. I heard. Okay, you know what? That again. I forget what it was, but someone said that a lot of the people who were voting for the best animated film just didn't vote because they were like, I don't have kids anymore. I don't know which to vote for. Which sort of meant like K-pop being sort of in the consciousness may have won just right out. Not that I'm not sure that it didn't deserve it, but on the other hand, like you're not going to have Conan goof on a weird like psychedelic French movie. I don't think people would get that. I'm thinking of that critic bit. Like this better be not be a list of like here's my list of favorite movies. Like this better not just be a lot of French crap. Rosebud. I mean, swing. Let's see. Let's see tonight. Oh yeah, tonight we're gonna play some Marvel. Um, Trying to think about what I'm gonna do after this. Got a couple commissions I need to start working on. Haven't really been watching any new shows. Again, just sort of. I've been rewatching. What's it? Oh crap! A series review about the Ultima series, like a really actually in depth retrospective. I've kind of been playing. I've had that playing. I've had a bunch of really just trying to get into a creative headspace. So I've got a bunch of Adam Tested and also Alton Brown, right? With I mean, the critic being ahead of its time with the video editing. I mean, swing. They abhorred violence, but they love this. Ay, caramba. Okay, now that I get. Yep. You still good? Yeah, we're still good. Hey, Ape Traits. Let's see. If you don't mind, experience where you. If you don't mind, I'd like to know what experience where you. Like, how did you two collaborate? Well, I mean, he was on. We were both at Channel Awesome at the same time, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to do my comic?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." Um, I was woefully unprepared because I was still using. At the time, this was before I used Paint Studio or Paint Tool Studio, which has a, a much improved workflow than I. But let's just say, even back then, I hadn't like tripped on a relatively professional workflow. I was using a downloaded version of what program was it? It was one of the old um, Photoshop C something. Anyway, it was fine. It was a vector based program. I was kind of learning how to use it, but I was also mainly working within like what other program was it? It was like Photoshop Elements or something. Um, and it was a little bit of stop and go on both of our ends because he wanted sort of a Batman animated series vibe. I was like, yeah, I could do that. And I kind of did for a little while. But then we both got hitched because we both had different things we needed to do. One, oh yeah, I remember what the big project was that I needed to work on. It was the character designs for uh, sub. No, I was going to say suburbia. I was going to say Subnautica. I was like, what? Um. Anyway, it didn't really work out because there was this points where I would either get art done too fast and he wouldn't have the script going, or I wouldn't like, and then I would start working on my stuff, and then he'd have a script, but I wasn't ready to do anything for it. So it can never be on like an actual solid release schedule. And then there was just at one point where we were just like, I pulled that trigger. I was like, I can't do this. And he was like, ah, sure, that's fine, because it was both. It wasn't. It was like a third gig for him, and it was like I kind of want to work on my own stuff. As far as the design work, it's fine. It was like very rough and rudimentary. Again, I could probably do something a little bit better now. I could do something a lot better now. But yeah, that's about it. Let's see. So yeah, when I was coming up with these different variations, it was like, yeah, well, I could probably do again. I could do something a little bit better now, and especially if I had some, I don't know, if I had something like this, maybe I have some pre-made models now going, or yeah, a style guide, something like that. Maybe even play with like a Blender models to get sort of that flat, but then also be able to like light it in a weird way. I think that would be cool. The one of some of the variations, of course, they wanted. The commissioner wanted boots and gloves without boots and gloves, and here I am just copying and pasting the hairstyle on the different models because I was like, oh, I'm just, I think I was that may, yeah, that was definitely a little bit later at the night. And I was just like, just let's just get this. This is going to be the flat references. If I need to actually make changes, I can do it with the original files. But the variations were gloves, no gloves, outfit with and without hat, and then I ended up making just like a different like one. She's got like a leotard with sleeves, without the sleeves. I gave her stockings with the sort of lines to indicate as such on her legs. It's real fun just playing with the different variations. Now you can just change different like little sets. Let's see, let's get in here and give this a good brushing, swiping. These are crap everywhere. There we go. Um, yeah. I don't know. Sometimes I think about making a comic or just doing a few little funnies. I was going to say, working with those original programs, I would do a lot, very much like I would doing with here. Yeah, I'm working with shapes. Um, Again, I love doing like the line drawing stuff, but I think then I didn't have the pen. I was working with a Wacom tablet. I said Wacom, different, weird, but it didn't have a screen on it. I have one of those now, and some people, I think there's a point of contention now between like whether or not you want a screen monitor or just a regular one. There are benefits to both, I would say. On the other hand, one is pretty much just a mouse. Um, Unless you really do want to have that sort of if again, I think if you're in it for a penny in for a pound and you actually want to transfer the motion of your pen stroke, go for a screen. It's fine. The only issue I have is that sometimes the screens don't last that long. I had a, let's see, what was it? An Artist 12. I forget what the actual company was, but I had an Artist 12 for maybe about 6 years. No, wait, when did I get that? 6, 7, 8, maybe 6 or 7 years. It definitely didn't last like the decade. Um, but the screen burnt out. And I think I paid like $400 for the first one and then $200 for the replacement. So there definitely was some depreciation. And I don't know if that's because they had newer models or not, but the ones with the screens are definitely more expensive if you want to like test your chops and get they've got them for like $25 now, or they used to have them for $25. Again, I don't know what the state of that is with the data centers and AI trying to gobble up every RAM everywhere they can get. I don't know what that is. I paid $50 for two 16 gigs of RAM. 16 gig sticks of RAM for $50, and that was just last year. Now that same set of RAM is like they're asking $300 for it. So yeah, that's just which is their plan is what they want to do. Altman basically said that he says he wants to like turn the whole we basically wants to turn Wikipedia into a commodity where you have to use it on a meter. Like he literally just said that in front of a bunch of like investors. And it's like, holy shit! They're not even trying to keep that shit a secret anymore. They're not even trying to be charismatic about it. Like you usually like say, "Gentlemen, to evil." He's just kind of saying, well, that's what we're gonna do. Yeah. Who keeps saying that? He did. Let's get him, boys. Cartoon Network UK started showing two new shows as of late. I've heard of Goat Girl. I've seen actually the some of the thing. She's got like a cute hat on. Kind of reminds me if Mabel was a little bit older. Um, and here I am again, sort of cheating the not quite working all the way in vector. I guess we can call this cheating the vectors. Anyway, this is just me cleaning up the lines a little bit, erasing where I would want that to be. Hey, Andre. Um, I saw Goat Girl. Who's Lana Longbeard? Is she a pirate? Sounds like a pirate. Let me take a look at that. Lana Longbeard. Oh, no. Oh, I think I have seen some of this. Yeah, she's a Viking. And this is all UK stuff. So it's not we're not talking about like French or Canadian. I was gonna say who is the studio that made the um, Danger Mouse reboot? Was that actually any association with what did they used to call themselves? It was that very distinctive English studio where the words would come out of like the Tams and over the okay. Here, let's see. Wait, do they call it Thames or Thams or Thanos River? Okay, Danger Mouse Studio. They did Danger Mouse, they did Count Duckula, and they also did like a weird show called Avenger Penguins. Which I can't prove it, but I swear to God is like a sort of like a prototypical, like they wanted to make Sonic the Hedgehog. They wanted to do it in England because I guess they have more hedgehogs there. I can't prove it, but I got a gut feeling. I just see that intro and I see the bad guy and I see the concept of racing around a town and I'm like, I see you and all the weirdo creatures. Again, can't prove it, but I just got a gut feeling. Look at the opening of Avenger Penguins. Why am I looking up Danger Mouse Studio when I could just look up the Wikipedia account for Danger Mouse? No, not fandom. Fandom is basically useless. Let's see. Yeah. 1981. Cosgrove. Cosgrove Hall. I think the guy, the commissioner is literally named Cosgrove, isn't he? Characters. Danger Mouse. Penfold, of course. Colonel K. Nope, that was wrong. I was wrong, and then you have Silas Greenback, and then in the reboot they added the chicken with the big butt. Literal shelf ass. Okay, I have to maybe have to check out Longbeard. It looks fun. Let's see. Do we start over? Oh crap! I have these out of order. One is at the beginning. Oh well. Let's see. How far are we into this? How deep are we in? We're 2 hours. That's fine. We're good. Cosgrove was the UK equivalent of Hanna-Barbera. That's right. But I don't know if Cosgrove Hall has any association with the new one. I mean, I assume that it's debunked. Cosgrove Hall Films. Oh, it's not Cosgrove Hall. It's a guy named Cosgrove making a partnership with a guy named Halls. Okay, yeah. Studio Brian Cosgrove or Mark Hall. Okay, I thought they was just their fancy name. They're like, you know how they'd call this blankety blank hall. 50 years of operation. It had a little bit of a revival. Closed and reopened as Cosgrove Hall Films. Folded in with ITV Pick. Don't know what any of that stuff is. Filmography. Let's look. The Best of Benny Hill. Okay, sure. The talking parse. Oh wait, no, this is the films, and these are shorts. Okay, TV series. The Magic Ball. Okay. Rainbow. Don't know what that is. Captain Noah and his floating zoo. Sally and Jake. No idea what that is. Naughty. No idea what that is. Chortleton. Chortlton. Chortlton and the Wheelies. Jamie and the Magic Torch, of course. Danger Mouse. Okay, that's when they. Alias the Jester. Creepy Crawlies. Wait a minute, Creepy Crawlies? As in Creepy Crawlies. Stop motion. Snail, the worm. Okay, so this is just a bunch of. I don't know what this looks like. Let's look. Count Duckula. Blah, 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 blah. Avenger Penguins. Yep, that's the one I. Phantom Cat. Hey, I've heard of that. Weird Sisters. Oh, did they make it the Weird Sisters? As the Terry Pratchett, of course. I love that one. There's only 6 episodes of this series. Rotten Ralph. Lavender Castle, of course. I love that one. That was a stop motion animation. Vampire, Pirates, and Aliens. This is all 2000. Andy Panda. Little Robots. Don't. Wait, Little Robots as in Little Robots? As in Little Robots. As in the tiny small blue robots. No, I was going to say it's that one Disney Channel show. Fifi and the Flower Trots. Don't know. I gotta look up this stuff. Wait, Rupert Bear had a revival? Rupert Bear, Follow the Magic. Okay, I gotta look this one up. This one I gotta look up. I know we're running without any footage, but Rupert, he's the one. That's a horrible theme song. I think they even dropped that one later, and then on reruns, they would just have like regular. Rupert Bear, Follow the Magic. Oh, okay. It's either stop motion or. Oh, but they did bring that back. That one. It looks like that one. That one time there was one episode of Rupert where I really liked. They had like a mystery on the beach, and Rupert met this girl in pigtails. It looks like maybe that's her. I'm watching the credits now. Yeah, it's just a little stop motion thing. They got the badger kid there. They got the elephant guy there. Holy crap, they got comments in here saying that this was their childhood. Oh, yeah, well, 2006. Okay, that's 20 years ago. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, Soul Magic was good. I love Soul Magic. Yeah, Reaper Man and Soul Magic. Those were the two best ones. I mean, the live action stuff was also pretty good. Anyway, I'm going to go and finish up my cleaning. And I guess, yeah, Princess Melanie will play some Marvel tonight with the new character drop. So that'll be fun. In the meantime, yeah, I thank you all, and I'll see you again when our paths cross. Take care. Bye bye.